Welcome back to Anna Wolf in the Cabin. This episode is dedicated to us, the ones that have begged the question, why have we let go of our imagination? When I was a child, I believed the stars were windows, that someone or something was watching me through them. Not in a frightening way, more like an old friend with a light, a lantern. I used to imagine that the wind carried a magical kind of power, and that if I stood still long enough, I might hear what the trees were whispering, a language that only I understood. Maybe you did too. Maybe your imagination once filled your room with invincible cities, your backyard was portals, your bathwater was filled with mermaids. But then something happens. We grow up, and no one tells us to stop imagining. Not directly, but they ask us to be realistic, to be serious, to grow out of things. They don't mean to harm, but in this process, we trade our dragons for deadlines, our moonlight maps for meeting notes. And we start to treat imagination as childish, as something we outgrow, like a pair of shoes that just no longer fit. But what if we're wrong? What if imagination isn't something we grow out of, but something we grow toward? If only we'd let ourselves go there. We dismiss imagination because it's not measurable. You can't scan it. You can't hold it in your hands. It definitely doesn't pay the bills. And it doesn't write resumes. But it does something else. It heals. It opens. It reminds. Everything around you was once just imagined. Imagination is how we connect the dots between what is and what could be. It's how we turn silence into song, pain into story, loneliness into a place you can walk through and come out on the other side. I think we dismiss our imagination because we're afraid of hope, afraid of disappointment, of being laughed at, but also because it's easier to follow a map than to draw our own. Tonight, maybe just for a moment, I want you to invite your imagination in, like an old friend. Not because it's useful, not because it's practical, but because it's yours. And maybe you've missed it. What if your imagination is not the escape, but the way back? Back to wonder, back to softness, back to yourself. There's a quote I once found on a library desk. And it said, "The world tells you to grow up, but sometimes you need to grow inward." I don't know who wrote it. Maybe someone like you. Someone who once knew how to fly and is just now remembering the wings. If you find yourself imagining something again, no matter how small, no matter how strange, follow it. It might just be the truest part of you calling home. Thank you for listening, and if you like what you've heard, don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, as it really helps my channel grow. And don't forget, the stars are still windows, and someone's always watching with a lantern.